You talked about representation and how it is not equal between men and women. Let's look at the congressional level. It's about one every four members of Congress, House and Senate, are women. But there's a greater disparity between Republicans and Democrats. There's only 16% of House Republicans are women, compared to 43% of House Democrats, according to Pew. I have covered this issue for a very long time. I did a story a couple of years ago about the record-breaking number of Republican women. There was about 30 that entered Congress. When you talk about these structural barriers, are there also structural barriers within parties or politics that prevents women from succeeding?
Absolutely. And I heard about that this morning from these freshman congresswomen. And they said, sometimes you finally get the seat and you've won a really difficult race in your district, but then you get to your seat of power and you're not supported by your party, or they put you on a committee that's sort of a sideline committee. Yes, you're a freshman, so of course you're not going to get one of the biggest seats that exists, but you don't often get supported within your party. And that's a problem too. So I think, the party's waking up and saying, look, the people who are in our party need to represent society. To me, it makes zero sense that today there are 16 million Black women in the United States, and there is not a single Black female senator, not one. Mm-hmm. And yet we're supposed to our calls of Congress are supposed to look like our democracy. And the difference is when you start to get women where they're much closer to parity. Take Minnesota. They're not there yet, but 38% of their people that are state legislatures are women. They just passed some record-breaking legislation right before the end of their session that had to do with paid family medical leave, homelessness, abortion rights, things that we know voters and women care about. And part of the reason they were able to do that is there's so many of them, and they have gotten to those seats of power, and they hold a lot of power in their legislature. That's what I'm looking for the U.S. Congress to start looking like.